It is still Wednesday, September 11th, 2024. And because I live in the New York area, the today's episode of The View did not come across any of my channels, even the ABC Live News channel that I have everything recorded on because of the September 11th memorial uh, proceedings. But a lovely viewer of this channel, KRNSTC, who's got the cutest dog in the profile picture, let me know that the ladies of The View did record an episode, which probably aired on the West Coast or other time zones, or outside the New York City viewing area. And um, boy, they had a little party there for a hot second. Um, it it I loved. They did a little tough day, September 11th, which, by the way, I don't know if you saw any of the footage. There's an awkward handshake of Trump congratulating Kamala at the 9/11. I hate that September 11th ceremony, um, saying you did a good job last night, and then during the moment of silence, he's looking up in the air. It's like everybody else is head down, observing the moment of silence, and he's going hilarious. I mean, disrespectful, but like anyway. Uh, so we're doing a late night edition, post shower with a cocktail. Um, Yay! So the ladies had a little field day. Whoopi was so excited, and so proud of Kamala. It's so cute, and and it was great. We all talked about the points. We all are excited about all the things she got under his skin. Um, I think we all know that no, she did not. Um, you know, cover every piece of ground, but she did what she needed to do in that debate, which was let people know that she is in charge, and showed how unhinged he is. I think that I think that's enough. And all of this whole thing prior to this, where she got criticized, or she can't handle a live interview, she can't handle. Yes, she can. She's choosing not to do interviews with corporate media because she knows what kind of bullshit you're going to pull. We've had enough talking about fracking, and they're still going to talk about it. If she goes in an interview, they're going to talk about it again. We've covered it. They're going to talk about oh, what's that other one? Oh, him saying she wasn't black. We covered it. It doesn't. Let's move on. And I think she's smarter to take her message directly to the people, talk through influencers, uh, talk through Taylor Swift. By the way, the timing of Taylor Swift's endorsement was genius. After the debate, it's Kamala's night. So Taylor's not the lead story. It's the night before September 11th. So the news cycle is really short about the debate. She's a fucking marketing PR genius, Taylor Swift. Anyway, so the ladies have their field day, and even including Amy Farrah Griffin. Amy Alyssa Farrah Griffin. I can't remember all of her names, but I made up half of them. And so, and I saw her last night on CNN, and she sat on the side with the Democrat pundits as opposed to the Republican pundits, because they kind of separate them. And the Republican pundits on CNN last night had a hard time, but she goes through the whole thing. She's very excited. She was gleeful about how unhinged Trump was, and I don't. I'm. We're going to talk about this further. I still don't get why you can't just say you're going to vote for her, and then because I know Christie is an ABC correspondent. He's hired by them, and they bring him out. Fuck Christie. FYI, and by the way, he uh he primaried with Trump in 2016, but then helped him with debate prep. He helped him again in 2020. He also, and I don't know if you're aware of this, and this is kind of the thing for me that is where he becomes unforgivable. If you've ever heard of the George Washington Bridgegate scandal, where he clogged the bridge for traffic trying to fuck over New York City, and in the process clogged it for emergency vehicles, and people died because of that. And it was very clear that it was his directive to clog the fucking bridge. And like, I think two of the people in his administration went to jail for it. They took the fall for him, which I think is bullshit. Never. That's like, I there is no one that I would do that for. Not even my mother. You fuck up, you take the responsibility. Mm-mm. That's bizarre that anyone would do that for someone that they work for. And that's why I don't understand the cult of Trump. It's like, what? Like, he's going to sell you out in a hot fucking second. And so now Christie's getting paid by ABC, making a pretty penny. And nobody's talking about the fact that he should have been in jail for that. So anyway, he's on the show. And yes, he's making the same points that we're all making about Kamala needling him, and the fact that, and he called what her performance was a layup, which I think is bullshit, and a really, really dismissive sort of descriptor of what she had to do. She had a lot to do. That was not a layup in any way whatsoever. Getting under his skin the way that she did was masterful. Yes, is there more that she can do going forward about answering some of those questions and further fleshing out her plan? She stuck to very specific points last night. There are more points in her plan, and if anybody bothers to actually listen to her, you would have already known what those were. But anyway, he then goes on to say he will not commit to voting for her. That he says he's not voting for Donald Trump, but he won't commit to voting for her. And the crowd starts to boo, and Whoopi gets all mad and don't boo. Fuck no, Whoopi. No. The crowd gets to respond how the crowd responds. If the crowd gets to cheer, they also get to boo. If you're asking them to express themselves, they get to express themselves. Otherwise, don't have a fucking crowd. I don't like that at all. They can boo. And they should boo. And they should boo Elizabeth. Wow, that's pulling it back. But that seat was never a conservative political seat until Elizabeth sat in that chair. It was the young person's, sort of lighthearted, let's get the younger demographic seat. And then, because it was Debbie Matenopoulos and then Lisa Ling, who was very civic-minded, but not conservative in any way. And then they gave it to Elizabeth Hasselbeck, and she turned that seat into, this is the conservative spot on the table. And they've kept that ever since, which I don't think they necessarily need to. And, Amy Alyssa Farfalla Griffin, I feel like, is a little bit of a grifter. She's just not, she was so excited to talk about how terrible Trump was, but she's not going to say the thing that is actually the most important in this election, which is vote for Kamala Harris and Tim Walz. If you want to save democracy, if you think this is such an existential threat, if you think this is the most important election, and then say the thing that you need to do, and stop trying to protect your job or your image or whatever the fuck you're trying to do. And fuck Chris Christie. I don't want to see him on this show anymore. I don't want to. It's so fucking annoying and so disingenuous because he was such a Trump sycophant, and nobody goes back to him and says, "You were with him for 8 years or whatever it was. You're not 8, well, 6, 4, whatever. um, 4, I guess, until January 6th. Um, why? What? How has he changed as a human being? You were attracted to it at one point because of your own political benefit, and now you're not because he went too far because you didn't think he could go that far. Well, how bad is your judgment in the past? I get it. People can figure it out. People can change their minds. People can learn. But Christie is from New Jersey, the New York metropolitan area. He fucking knows what Donald Trump is about. He knew it from the beginning. He never needed to actually capitulate, but then he did until it became inconvenient for him. Fuck Christie. Amy Alyssa Farrell Griffin gets a little bit of a pass because she seems kind of dumb and kind of fell for it, thought that she could do some good until she realized this is too far, and then she left. And she's been very clear since then. However, not going far enough to say, hey, this is what you need to do. So I don't like the hypocrites at all. When it comes to something this important. Yes, you can change your view. Yes, you can learn and grow, and you can be forgiven for that, but not if you don't show any uh but well, there needs to be a little bit of remorse. You don't have to do that forever. But you also need to show your commitment to where you're going, and I don't think Amy Alyssa Fairfield Griffin's doing it at all. Fuck that girl. And I thought Usher's response was not evasive in any way whatsoever, just that, because here's the contrast. He said, yes, I'm supporting her, but no, I don't believe it's my job with this platform to advocate or tell anybody else what to do. Excuse me. And I thought Whoopi made a great point because Joy kind of put him on the spot. That not everybody's built to do that, and I agree with that. You can make your point known, and let people decide for themselves. But I do not believe that is the case for Amy Alyssa Farrell Griffin when she is a political figure. It's not about an audience. It's not about selling records. It's not about anything else. It's not about being an entertainment figure or an actor or anything. She is a political figure. The only thing she has is politics. That's her thing. And if she thinks she's ruining her brand by saying we should vote for the Democratic candidate, I think that's when she's going to do it anyway, or she believes that that's what people should do. That's disingenuous. I don't like that at all. That's Tucker Carlson kind of territory. And I realize Tucker Carlson is a monumentally different animal because he is a complete grifter. He doesn't believe most of what he espouses, and I don't understand why he's even bothering to continue because he's got enough money. He is playing a game and playing a part, but now he's seriously into like Russian influence money territory, where he's breaking the law, and I don't understand why he's even taking that chance because he doesn't need it. But anyway, this is a long, rambling explanation of what happened on The View today. Cheers, kids. I guess we'll do it again tomorrow.